Good morning and welcome to Williams Dog Training Company. We're here today with Fred and Apollo, and what we're going to be demonstrating for you today is Apollo's ability to understand and respond to his obedience commands, the corrections and motivations that we give while we're working with him, and also the training equipment that we're using. Fred is using a regular 6-foot training leash, and he's going to keep the bulk of that leash folded neatly in his right hand, leaving his left hand free to give the correction. And the correction that we give is a tug and release on the training collar, which is the second piece of equipment that we're using. Apollo has been fitted with his own personal training collar, and we will show you how to properly put that collar on and use it during your one-on-one lesson. Now, as you can see, Apollo is sitting very nicely on Fred's left-hand side, which is where all of our obedience training takes place. The first command that they're going to demonstrate for you is heeling, and heeling is proper walking on a leash. Fred and Apollo take off doing that now, and the command that you're going to give is Apollo heel, and you're going to simply start walking, and he should fall in line heeling appropriately on your left hand side. This means he should be keeping pace with you, whether you're walking at a faster pace or a slower pace, and he should not be lagging behind or lunging ahead and pulling on that leash. We've also gone ahead and incorporated an automatic sit, which you just saw occur right there, into your heeling exercise. So anytime that you're out walking with Apollo and you stop, he should sit nicely right there at your left hand side. The next command that they're going to demonstrate is the stay command, and it's a hand and voice command. Use the open flat of your left palm an inch or so in front of his muzzle, and the one-word command to stay, and then walk out to the end of your training leash. This is a command that you're going to want to practice very often with Apollo to help build up his ability to sit and stay for longer periods of time. When working with this at home, start at about 30 seconds to a minute, and upon his success, increase your intervals, working up to a total of 3 minutes for your long sit stay. And of course, he should remain seated in his position and should not break. When Fred returns back, he walks counterclockwise all the way around behind, returning so that Apollo is directly on his left-hand side once again. And they're going to demonstrate that heel, sit, and stay again. It's very important to make this fun and motivating for Apollo, and you do so by using lots of positive reinforcement. You can use verbal praise and tell him he's a good boy, or physical praise and give him a little pet on the head. Just make it fun and motivating overall. So Fred left him in another sit-stay. He gives him some time to hold it, and now they're going to demonstrate the recall or the come on command. For this command, you call Apollo in using his name in a friendly voice. He should get up, come in, sit directly in front of you. Good boy. And we have an exercise called the finish, where he heels around the right side of you, around the back of you, returning to your left-hand side, sitting nicely. And they're going to demonstrate that again, so leave him in a sit-stay out to the end of the leash. Give him a moment to practice his sit-stay and let him hold it. Then call him in using his name, again in a friendly tone. Gets up, comes in, sits nicely, very well done. And around your back. Good boy. You want to make sure when Apollo comes home that you're practicing your commands both indoors and outdoors as well, so that way he's generalizing his commands in both environments. And at first you're going to pick an area with little to no distractions. And once you start to feel more comfortable and he's completing his commands with no distractions, you can slowly start to incorporate distractions into your training sessions. The next command they're going to demonstrate is the first of our down commands, and it's down from a heel position. Again, use the open flat of your left palm, but this time straight down towards the ground. The one-word command to down, then give the stay command and walk out to the end of your leash. And you want to practice this command often as well to help build up that ability to down stay for longer periods of time. And this one, again, start at about 30 seconds to a minute and increase your intervals over time, working up to a total of 5 minutes. If at any time he was to break command, you would tell him no, go back to heel position, put him in another down stay, and complete the command again. It is important to make sure you're consistent and follow through with him completing it from beginning to end. And now they're going to go ahead and demonstrate that for you again. And this is a good time to remind you that although you're going to be incorporating all of your commands and your everyday activities and schedules and generalizing them, you want to make sure that you're setting aside about 10 to 15 minutes every day to work Apollo through a formal obedience training session such as this video. It's great practice for the both of you and will help with the transition back into the home with his new rules. So Fred left him in a down stay, and this time we'll demonstrate that recall command instead of returning back.
Apollo, come.
Gets up, comes in, good boy. Sits. Good boy. Good job. Fred and Apollo have one last command to demonstrate, and that's the second of our down commands, the down from a distance. And for this command, you're going to leave Apollo in a sit stay, out to the end of your leash. And from the end of the leash, use your right hand to give the down command. You should go into a down directly where he is sitting, just like he did. Great job. We've demonstrated for you today all the obedience commands that Apollo has learned here at school. It's been a pleasure working with Apollo, and we ask you to keep in touch with us and let us know his progress and how he's doing. And thank you again for choosing Williams Dog Training Company as your personal dog trainer.